Alright. This should be funny. There we go. So, from what I've been told officially by OFCRA, is they had this idea since 2025, and then they announced it, and then within 12 hours, the US went in and grabbed the president. So, this has been ready for a while, but they weren't expecting the timing to line up quite like this, so that's why we have this scenario here. I did mine on purpose, but these guys, they tend to try not to get involved in political stuff, but it kind of happened that way. Regardless, this is going to be our first OFCRA match of 2026. We have two factions on each side. For the US, we have, you can follow along by typing exclamation point mission, by the way, but we have the 75th Rangers and DevGru on Blue 4. Op 4 is Venezuelan Armed Forces, and the CHVK Jakenskovi. I believe that is either an insurgent force or a narco force or something. Regardless, here are the objectives today. There is a capture objective here. The Venezuelan SEBIN base. Whoever has that by the end of the game gets 3 points. For Blue 4, they're trying to destroy narco boats. So, there is a narco boat at FOB Monza that needs to be destroyed by the 35-minute mark. That is worth 1 point. There's a second narco boat that needs to be at FOB Grappa by the 50-minute mark. That needs to be destroyed by Blue 4. And then there is a narco boat that is going to be in the harbor, which is right here. That needs to be destroyed by the 65-minute mark. Op 4 need to keep the boats in those positions by the 35, 50, and 65-minute marks to score points. And that is pretty much the game. The narco boats are going to be the 3CB faction fishing vessels. I'm not sure if they're going to be armed, though. They might just be unarmed, so we'll just have to see how that plays out. As you can see, though, Blue 4 have two ships they're going to be spawning from. Op 4, we've got two far positions here. Blue 4 definitely going to have some sort of helicopter support. Op 4, I am unsure about, but we'll see it play out soon. Regardless, hope you're all doing A-okay. I'm a little scared to open the player list because I was briefed by one of the players that they're doing a fun little play on words here. And I don't see it right now, which is probably a good... Nope, there it is. So, Twig King is one of the best players in OFCRA. And it looks like some players have decided to show their appreciation for Twig King today. We have Twig and Ball Torture. We have Twig Ass. We have Twig. I'm not sure I can say half of these, but as you can see, we have quite a Twig Epstein, Twig Floyd. I don't think I can say that one. I don't think I can say that one either. Definitely not that one. There's Twig King, the original. There's Twig Khan. Twig C. Twig Sima. Yeah. Oh, it's Twigs me, so I guess he hates the Polish too. Twig yourself. Yeah, as you can see, we've got quite the following here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this one. Yeah, it's a lot of Twig. So, I'm just not going to touch that one, Chief. The OFCRA op will be longer than the actual operation. Yeah, probably. But yeah, that's the boat I'm in right now. Otherwise, today we have this and OFCRA. I'll be doing a little bit of dev work in the background as well, because there's a thing I want to get off the ground for Saturday for Mr. Seeker. I just have to get it announced. I'm just trying to get the mission finalized, and then I gotta... Mission file finalized. Tongue twister. And then I gotta get Ian on the mod set. I gotta make a few tweaks to the Rhodesian mod set as well. I put out a poll to get some follow-up information settled. And yeah, you know, just continuing business as usual. Hope everyone's doing A-okay for their 2026 so far. Hey, it's been a crazy year already with everything that's going on. Venezuela, Iran. I think we're just getting started. That's the fun part about it all. Twig Dorome. Amazing. Just how many twigs are there? Oh, and people can't call me crazy anymore because Microsoft, quote-unquote, officially announced the Fallout 3 and New Vegas remasters. I'm going to be honest with you guys, though. Those have been in development for at least 2 years, if not more. This is Reforger? Oh, does it still say Reforger because of last night? Yes, it does. My bad. Let me switch it back to 3. There are times where I blame Twitch or OBS for those mistakes, but that one was genuinely on me because we were streaming Reforger last night. No, this is too modded to be Reforger, I'm sorry to say. It's too stable to be Reforger. There's no devs that are going to come in and decide a mod is banned and then break everyone's clients mid-game and cause the server to reset Reforger. No. This is 3. We will be playing DayZ tomorrow, though. I've been a bit behind on that schedule, but we're going to go back to it. Dell finally said the quiet part out loud and admitted no one's buying AI products. Yeah. AI was the latest buzz term for Silicon Valley to attract a bunch of investors. I think AI is going to eventually be something we all get into heavily, if not already. And AI is a really great tool to help you condense and organize information and find information if you know how to sift through it, because AI will also pull from a bunch of websites with factually, inaccurate information. But it will eventually become a main thing. But we're not even close to that at all. But for like a general product, most people know not to touch it because it's useless. Regardless, let's get into the operation. So we have a landing ship right here. That's cute. This isn't a standard Arma 3 model. We've got... What is this? The Ranger group here, so... sorry, some hiccups. I see some Mark 18s, basically some modded M4 platforms. See some 240 Bravos. They put some scopes on there, some Bulldog, or Pitbulls, excuse me. We see some CCO-68 red dots. I saw some grenade launchers on a few of their weapons. Some 249s in play as well. And it looks like that is it. I'm looking for vehicles. So we have a modded Blackhawk with miniguns and some missile pods. And it also has some crew compartment in the back. That's nice. So 134s. And then I'm assuming these are... HEDP or something, because outright HE is not going to be seen that much. And then we got a CH-47 with some minigun pylons on the sides. And then we have some MRZRs that can probably be air-towed by the CH-47. Maybe the Blackhawk as well, but we'll have to see. Meanwhile, the Seal Spawn, the Dev group, that is going to be SVDs. Oh, God. I hope they modded them to be quicker, because this is going to be... What is this? A 1, 2, 3... This is going to be a 30-minute drive, at least. It says AP rockets, fair. But let's see. So these guys are all suppressed, rocking, yep, Mark 18 platforms, M249s, got some AT4s on them. Well, not AT4s, M72s. But yeah, no, that is going to be a drive if they have to drive all the way from the seal spawn position, unless they modded their speed to be quicker, because these things are slow as shit. SDV, not SVD. I misspoke, I apologize. But yes, submersible. Dive vehicle. Actually, it's seal delivery vehicle, but I digress. Meanwhile, these guys, oh, they've got the 12 point, they got AHSs, Jesus. So these are 12.7 submachine guns, very high caliber. We also have some with 203 launchers underneath? My God. Pretty heavy body armor for these guys as well. We've got some AK-74s with some PKAS red dots. Got some modified RPG-7s. That actually looks like a really slick texture. Holy shit. That looks dope. Some Glock 17s with the extended mags. Those might be fully auto-pistoled. Full auto pistols. But some really nice stuff. So these are for their elite special forces guys. They also have a 134 Crow system on the back. That's dope. These have to be CDLC assets based off of what I'm seeing here. That's pretty cool, not gonna lie. And then over here for the Venezuelan military, we've got some 113s with M2s on them, up armored. Their main weaponry, technically it should be AK-103s, but I see some FALs, I see some FN mags for their medium machine gun. That might be a 103, actually. I can't remember if a 113 is 7.62x39 or 5.45. And then they've got another group of forces back here. Some AUGs. Those look like Gen 1 AUGs, actually. Neat. That's an MP5 10mm. What on earth? Very interesting breakdown of weaponry here. Yes. Let me get the gambling up. That's an AK-109, not 74. Gotcha. Let me get the prediction up for you guys. All right. I'll set it for 10 minutes because there's going to be quite a bit of transition time. There you guys go. Might be AUG A2s. Might be that too because they have the railing up top. Anyway, Depso going to be commanding Blue 4. He's got a pretty high win rate. So does Skipu, though, under Op 4. So even sides for the command personnel. Fob, Monza. So we got the narco boat up here. They got a few rocks floating to protect it. That's kind of cute. It's got a barrel up front. That's probably the trigger for if it goes off. So the vehicle's right there. These rocks are there so people can't just, like, take the boat and leave with it. Second one is going to be over here. We also have some statics tucked away to help defend the fob. That's quite nice. Over here, we also see a pair of statics there as well. And then for the harbor area, we have some made bunker areas here. We have a ZU-23 on a vehicle. 2 ZU-23s on vehicles. The vehicle's just to give it a bigger hitbox to hit. And then you've got that final fob right here that the Op 4 elements are going to be defending. So here's my prediction. I don't see this objective being assaulted by Blue 4. It's too far away. It's at the 35-minute mark. Everything else is close down here. I see Blue 4 potentially trying to deploy the air element either right here to then walk them along the coast, or try to flank around and be cheeky and deploy them somewhere over here. Maybe then they'll touch that, bypass that position, and then hit these. Or they're going to hit that and then try to do a crossing here, or do 2 landings, or get the SEALs to land on one of the far sides. But with Op 4 having a spawn point right here, I think a landing over here is less likely. If they do land, they're going to land over here and then deploy on foot. I think the better option is to just completely bypass this objective and just focus on that area. But Blue 4 is probably going to do a very far northern landing just to make sure Op 4 doesn't immediately drive up and cover any of the LZs. So it's going to be, I think the farthest south we're going to see is here or over there. If they do a complete outflank and try to land somewhere to the south, it's potentially going to be over here. Because you got to remember, they then need the forested path to then walk up on. It's not going to be anywhere near that spawn point here, that's for damn sure. If there's going to be a southern LZ, it's going to be right here. Maybe. Big emphasis on the maybe. Maybe we'll see it over here, but it's going to be one of those super quick fly in. Pray that they don't run into the freaking minigun. and potentially land right in here. But I'd say 95% likelihood it's going to be a northern side landing. They do have 2 helicopters, though, so they can deploy them on either side. You got one of the Blackhawk already deploying. Technically, it might be a Seahawk, but because it's a naval asset, but it's a Blackhawk texture. It's the ESSS model. And then they've got a squad waiting back here, so the Blackhawk is intending to deploy a second time. How do you join something like this? Type !OFCRA, or if you want, there's another community called FNF that runs stuff. They run on Fridays, and they also occasionally have some Saturday main events. That's !FNF. OFCRA, I could see them potentially sending 113 up here to defend that area, but they might just ignore it as well, opting to hold these positions. Because this is where, let's see, 2, 4, 7 out of the 8 points are worth. So it's kind of pointless to send something up there. That's only if you have extra forces to send, but I'm going to be honest, OFCRA would do a better job just LZ watching and holding these positions here specifically. Good afternoon, Blaze. Hope you're doing okay. How many twigs are there? Yeah. Yeah. Funny, Twig King isn't even in this group. I don't even... Yeah, so he's part of the dev group. He's not even with the other Twigs. You know what would be really funny if they just landed right on top of the objective, took it out with the missiles on the boat, and then deployed somewhere to the left or right. I'm not sure if that's against the rules. Locked vehicles have been unlocked. Yeah, so these guys were allowed to immediately deploy. I'm really curious here. So it takes it about 15 to 16 seconds to go 100 meters. I think they modded these to go quicker, because these usually go a lot slower. So these guys are landing at the first objective. They're gonna, I think they're gonna just take the boat out and then pick their guys back up and move further south. Or this is another, they're gonna take that out and then just go south and then hit those objectives and bypass Grappa. The one thing I didn't consider in what I was saying earlier is OFCRA don't have any spawns on the northern side. So they can literally, Blue 4 can literally just land on top of the objective knowing there's not going to be any OFCRA there. Because Blue 4 113s don't have any assets that can rush up to that position. So, I was wrong. Now I know. Right, okay, thank you for dropping by. Yeah, the AP rockets on the Blackhawk, you're going to have to fire one to see where it goes, and then that's your aim point, and then you can do stuff from there. Blue 4 might try to set up ambush positions as well to see if they can bait 113s to come in so they can set up an ambush here. Another line right there, but they're not going to want to blow this up until OFCRA potentially comes in. They get some free kills on an ambush. I don't get landing over here, though. This makes me think that they did suspect something, but this is kind of a pointless position to land on because you can't really back anything up. It would have been better just to land them on this side as well. Now these guys are going to hear the choppers. I think Big Rig is going to now fly around and do some false LZs in the back line to sow some confusion on OFCRA. Or make them potentially spot the chopper. Because I'm going to be honest, you are never going to see a pilot fly this high and this intentional. If he doesn't want to be spotted, is going to fly around like this. So if you see the chopper like that, that's bait. 99.9% of the time, that is just bait. And what that is designed to do is to make OPFOR think, oh my gosh, that's them. They're going to go fly in the back line and deploy something back here. And that's just going to make Skipu think there's going to be something potentially in his back line. But no, that is 100% bait, because if Blue 4 did really want to land on the southern line, they'd be flying just above the tree line on the edge of the damn map. But flying around like this is just trying to get everyone's attention.
Team 6 now.
Starting off the new year with some nice juicy bets.
Yeah. Wow, we're actually even. 217.6k on both sides. That's nuts. So some very healthy betting there. Now, it could also be that Big Rig is trying to do some scouting to see if he can see OPFOR coming in. I'm going to be honest, him flying this bold right here would indicate to OPFOR that he's already dropped forces off and now he's looking around, which is just going to make OPFOR more cautious. If you want OPFOR to ambush this position, you don't want this flying over because that's going to slow their force down. And Blue 4 is the attackers, so they're working against the clock. You want them to just try to rush into that AO to defend it so you can ambush them instead. So a bit of a misplay on Blue 4's end. Because Blue 4, if they weren't trying to set up ambushes, this would be helpful because it would slow these forces down, and then Blue 4 could immediately start going to the next position. But because Blue 4 is intentionally not destroying this boat yet, it means they're trying to pull OPFOR in to then ambush them. But the chopper is slowing down OPFOR's movement, so it's pointless. So Blue 4 are trying to execute two different contradicting plans. It's not really helping them. So Blackhawk went back, picked up the other group, and you got the SDVs doing something. Some are starting to dive. You know, it might not be modded. If they're on the surface, they might just go a little bit faster. But, yeah, even underwater, they seem to be going at a pretty good speed. So, the Venezuelans have multiple AAA assets. They've got two ZU-23s built into the AO right here on these trucks, and you see that both of them are actually manned. And then they've got an M134 on the back of an off-road that works kind of like a crow system. So it's got a really nice magnified scope. It's controlled remotely. Good stuff. But yeah, OPFOR, I think, have deduced that this chopper's bait, and they know that if that chopper's flying around, it means it's deployed its forces. So they're assuming that Monza is going to be a jumped position. That's why you don't see OPFOR rushing into it. And the ones that could have done it have slowed down because of that chopper, so... I'd imagine this is an AT specialist or an explosive specialist. He's going to set something up on that boat to blow it. Now, the really worrisome thing here is OPFOR can now remake their strategy to kind of bottleneck this position. You already see them doing that with one OPFOR squad, but they can bring more reinforcements in and pretty much block off a good chunk of Blue 4's element here. And you see that reinforcements are being brought over. You're hearing the ZU-23s also firing, but it's very far. Rounds are going to lose all momentum and start landing in the back. You're actually going to hear them start hitting the ground in a second. I stand corrected. I was expecting to hear explosions, but we did not get them. 224 to 233. I think OPFOR's main chance of winning here is if they are able to defeat Blue 4 in detail, and that could very well happen because Blue 4 have an entire force here that's kind of useless. Blue 4 have a big force that are coming in the SDVs. They're going to be useless for at least another 10 to 15 minutes. And then they're deploying another force to then go for Grappa, I see. So this one squad's going to go for that objective. These forces are going to bypass and head to these northern objectives. But they're being very spread out. But think about it. If OPFOR is able to take this force out, pull back, and hold these positions, this would give them more points than these two outer objectives, because this is 1.2 points, and this is 2 points and 3 points. Do the math. It's 3 versus 5. So it looks like Blue 4's given up on trying to ambush this, so they just put a GL into the boat. Did you just miss it? Okay. Come on, buddy. Come on. Broadside of a barn here. Good job. You did it. And put some shrapnel on yourself. Just use an AT4. Okay. Alright. Alright. Well, he got it. 3 out of 4. And he hurt himself. Sometimes the jokes write themselves. I would have laughed my ass off if he knocked himself out. So Chopper's landing back here. I'm assuming it's to potentially pick up this squad. But you have this Op 4 element moving in down here. They're going to have heard the explosions, but you see Op 4 is now setting up this big defensive line to try to stop any Blue 4 from coming up this route. So this is where Op 4 wants to catch Blue 4, and it's a good spot to catch him on because Blue 4 only has this thin strip of land to hide in. It would have been really sexy if Op 4 had a mortar or something, because then they could just outright bombard that area and force Blue 4 to be more maneuverable. But Seals are about a little past halfway their objectives. We'll see where they decide to dismount as well. They might even bypass the river and deploy back here, and then go in on foot. Because deploying in front of the objective where Sentry is going to be watching is probably not going to be the best idea. There's the 134 firing. See, we can see the gunner camera. Yep, so he's in that shotgun seat managing the camera there. But that 134 is flying just enough away. Which one's the CST time zone? Honestly, your best bet, Smaj, is to look on Reddit, find a unit, or milsimunits.com. Those are going to be your best hubs to find any Arma 3 places. Oh, CST is Midwest? Oh, I mean, my community would be good as well. But if you want to DM me on Discord, type !Discord, jump into my community, shoot me a DM. I can give you a few recommendations. Just hard for me to do that while I'm working here. So I thought the helicopter would be picking a few people up to then move them, but they're going to hold here instead. Blackhawk deployed Rodrig on that side. What I'm a little worried about is Blue 4 have a really good defensive position right here, and if Op 4 keep this battle line right here, Blue 4 are going to be able to still bypass it with this squad and these SDVs coming in. But we still see a good chunk of Op 4 defenders back here. So I retract what I was going to say. Op 4 still has good defenses on the rear. Blue 4 have a few squads bypassing, but I don't think it's enough to outright smash the Op 4 defensive groups here. What Op 4 needs to do is basically figure out a way to sweep these units here and then pull everything back, and then they can sweep the remaining units. That's how they can win. Blue 4, if they keep Op 4 stalled out here and then these two groups are enough to sweep the rest of this AO, because they are separated, mind you, then that's a guaranteed Blue 4 victory. But if Blue 4 are able to destroy all 3 narco boats before the, I think 65-minute mark is the one the last one cashes in, that's going to be 6 points, and that's an automatic GG. No, 5 points, excuse me. So Op 4 need, I think they're, again, you know, relying on the squad right here, but that could get breached via the Dev group and the Ranger group that's bypassed. So we're in a catch-22 now if Op 4 doesn't realize that they're in a pretty bad position at the moment. But if they can eliminate all these guys and pull their forces back, then it's a guaranteed GG. You did not. Okay, that looked like a frag on my screen. I was about to say, like, yeah, whoops. So yeah, Blue 4, they're just, I think this is a bait force. We do see some forces folding in. Either these guys are then going to head south and hold here, or they're just going to try to draw out more Op 4. But we see them breaking down from this spot. But Op 4 starting to maneuver in. I see. So a helicopter's going to come in and pick these guys up. These guys might hold, though, just to pull additional Op 4 in. So if these guys come in, get picked up, and then help spearhead the force fighting down here, as OPFOR have half of their forces invested in just taking out one squad, that's gonna decide the game. That means that Blue 4 will have the numbers to bulldoze these final 2 objectives, and then it doesn't even matter who has control of the base. OPFOR is already lost at this point. Yeah, so they're getting up on the coast. Now that chopper could get shot down as well, because we do have a AAA asset right here. And I think he's kind of testing the waters at the moment. They're swimming it. So they're going to swim right here, get with this other group, bypass around, swim back here, and then back up these teams. I think because they're thinking resistance here is too heavy. But it looks like Blue 4 is also pulling back over here, so this group is a security element. That's why they have them over here, because Depso wants them to basically cross these areas. That means Blue 4 is going to come in a bit of a staggered formation on this objective. So that's going to put all of the dependency on OPFOR's victory to these guys. But it's going to give them the best chance to defeat Blue 4 in detail, because Blue 4 is going to come in staggered. All as OPFOR is putting pressure on these guys from the rear. So OPFOR's chances of winning just went up, because if OPFOR can, you know, essentially eliminate this group, then eliminate the SEAL group that comes in, then by then these guys will start coming in. But OPFOR's not going to pull forces back, because they're going to be busy suppressing and sweeping for these guys. I don't think there's been a single KIA on either squad yet. There was a skirmish, and we saw one guy get shot, but that's it. I see. So this group's pulling back to the north. I think the chopper's going to pick them up and then move them. But these guys are either going to cross, or they're going to pull back to somewhere like over here and then get picked up by the chopper and redeployed. Either way, this squad's going to get in first, but OPFOR doesn't have any security on this position itself. So these guys are going to basically get another free boat kill. From here, with how this border is set up, they're going to be unlikely to hit this boat too. They could potentially keyhole hit from right here, or they could hit a 1 in a million shot on the pole, and this is tied to the boat's hitbox, so if it does get hit by an AT-4, that would kill it. And I'm going to be honest, that wins the game, because at that point, Blue 4 has 5 points, OPFOR can only get 3. I don't think there's an easy way for the SEALs to climb up somewhere, other than potentially like right here, turn around, then AT the boat. But again, I think OPFOR have... actually, they've got good tower security here and whatnot. Maybe they spotted Blue 4 coming in, but they also have the boat locked down. I don't know, this is going to be a really interesting firefight, because we have a lot of elements that we normally don't see in those types of battles. Yeah, so you got the 113 watching, you got a few garrisons and towers watching. With 50 cals, mind you. And they got those holographic scopes, so they can line up pretty well with them. They just don't have any magnified optics. Posture check, yeah, alright. I won't shrimp. You also have these groups, they've divided into 2 elements. One is a little further than the other. But yeah, so far it's been a 20-minute SVD ride. I think one of them might be trying to surface again on periscope level so they can start scouting things out. So you're seeing some GL rounds being exchanged. Rigel trying to range this, but again, we've got fortified positions on this side. As one of the twigs opens up. Still no deaths on either side yet. Sorry, SDV. Ugh. We have a spent, yeah, that's an ASH. Zixme has a -1, though. I think he killed an AI earlier. But yeah, they got a spent AT tube there, so they fired that at this group. You know, these guys, this could be, again, a baited position. Good GL. There's our first kill, and he goes airborne. 2 kills, actually, from those GLs. So I think these guys are here on purpose just to pull as much OPFOR to this position as possible. We have some SVD yes, I said it right, SVD teams moving in right here. And a 113 driving along the coast. (113) opening up on the units over here. We also have the ZU-23s firing into this spot. Blue 4 is in a lot of trouble because they're going to be suppressed by autocannon fire before they can even get into this position. We have 2 divers deploying now. I really hope they weren't given explosive charges because it would be super easy for them just to put mines on the boat and then pull away and instantly win the scenario. 113 fortified back here. You could see one of these guys. I don't know why they dropped it off like this. They should have just dropped it off in the river and swam up. It just gives you away. It's a bit of a weird choice. Rocket was just fired into this position, but the trench line held it. It is what it is. They might be doing the thing where they poke their heads up, seeing if there's anyone to snipe, and then they go back into the water. Oh, now you got the AAA vehicle coming close to where Blue 4 is deploying a good chunk of their units. I think these guys are meant to outflank some of the OPFOR infantry and attack them. This is a funny predicament. He's looking for aircraft, not realizing he's got the entirety of Blue 4 Spec Ops under him. Here's the funny thing I'm going to ask. Is the driver going to notice? No! He sees the STV, though! And that's going to make him freak out a little bit. Now he adjusts. Now they see him. Oh. So they're trying to shoot the ASHs in the water, but the water is going to refract those shots. Oh, here comes Twig. He was trying to get into a position where he could snipe the people. We also have some fog coming in. So he's camping under the boat. Why are you getting on the coast when you know that's a position? Bad frag. Bit of a silly thing to do. You know there's hostiles over here. Why are you running on the coast? Why are you still running on the coast? Are they trying to get to the 50 cals? Sometimes Arma 3 players do some of the weirdest things I've ever seen. This is one of them. Blue 4 redeploying the SEALs now. They're going to try again to outflank Op 4 on the rear line. And then this Blue 4 squad ended up avoiding this position. I think because eventually the SEALs are going to deploy over here, grab an AT-4, and then blow this up from across the river here. But now they're going to try to move in to get a position on the harbor. Alright, I'll be right back 1 second. Sorry about that. So, as we saw, OPFOR are continuing to suppress this position. You've got the Blackhawk now coming in doing some counter suppression runs. Looking at the rest of the AO, we still have the boat back there. Blue 4 coming around on this side. They've secured the area. They're just trying to find an angle to now destroy the boat. Fog's getting a little thicker. And DevGru are starting to come in. We also hear a vehicle, or some sort of explosion. I thought that was a vehicle cook-off noise, but I don't see what it could be. So this element's about to get jumped in another minute or two. 2 OPFOR taken out. Overdrive's panicking. And he's taken out. And the gunner's shot in the back of the head. It's really hard to hear those suppressed shots over the engine of the 113. Kaiser is the only guy still alive in this group, and I don't think he has any idea. But he does have suppressed shots going overhead. And he still has no idea. One of his guys got replaced by an AI. And he gets taken out. How's the AI, though? Is he okay? Is he safe? All the players get killed first, but the AI, nah. The AI is allowed to live. Never mind. So the 1134 the 134 comes around. That takes out one guy. Now getting suppressed. The gunner quickly gets out. Try and switch to the driver's seat. He gets shot by something heavy. They stole the 50 cals. They just completely took him out with that. Now you got the ZU-23 cutting into this area. That's making them back off. You know, at this angle, I think they could use the 50 cals and potentially shoot the boat to death. Just finding an angle that the ZU-23s don't see would be the toughest part. More suppressive fire coming in. Got the 50 cals also randomly suppressing. They don't have any targets to engage, though. But with the loss of that 1134... No, it's just 134, my bad. 1134, something different. Funny enough. We could see OPFOR try to run down to grab it again, but the 50 cal might have also disabled the engine. But we have OPFOR moving a squad in now to outflank this Blue 4 element to potentially defeat them in detail. However, do either of these guys have AT? One of them does have an M72. They might try to climb up and take the shot here. It's going to be up to Rizbo to stop them, but we do have grenades being thrown in here, so I think they know. They know that something's here. I don't see any bodies, though. They're just stealthing around at this point. Oh, no. See, I'm gonna be honest, this is bullshit. Because how do you stop that? They did to the other one, too. Yeah, that's GG. Not some great ABS, but it is what it is. Rest of the dev crew guys are trying to hit the rear of the remaining OPFOR elements. PHK turnaround. He knows something's up. Immediately starts firing. I guess OPFOR's intended strat was to then camp right under the boats and just toss grenades next to them. I could see that working, but OPFOR, like, I rarely see players play point security in any form of PvP. Rigel has a grenade tossed right on him. Thankfully, there's a tree in the way. I hear some AT firing out. Yeah, Blue 4's ultimate strategy would just be to have the SEALs hit the boats with GL, or explosives. But again, OPFOR can just camp around the boats and throw grenades at them, which I think is meant to be the defensive play. Hold on, that might have actually just happened. Wait a second. If they get killed and they set these to triggers, that means the boats, the charges aren't going to go off. So I think OPFOR threw some grenades in and actually got them knocked out. All right, OPFOR's chances are still up because Blue 4, the Triggerman got blown up. Meanwhile, back at the dev crew fight here. They're getting taken out, though, here and there. Demovar gets a kill. This ASH... I think he ran out of ammo. Yeah, that was one hit right there. It's 12.7. This thing will kill you pretty damn quickly compared to other guns. Great grenade throws here. Zixby gets one. Double taps. And just like that, that Blue 4 assault force has been taken out. Holy shit, he survived. Skifu sees him. He might be out of nades. Got another Blue 4 element coming from the other side, though. This group, meanwhile, down to only 3 dudes. You gave him a Saiga with HE rounds? Oh! 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 The Triggerman woke up! And he deaded the second boat! Oh my god. That man needs to be stopped. So you can't det the boats until they become opened up. So that one didn't det because if you saw on the announcements on the bottom left, this one could only be deaded after the first objective had been cashed in. So he can't det the boats. He can't det this final boat until this one gets cashed in another 10 minutes. But what's stopping him from doing a little bit of math and setting these to timers so that they're deaded at certain times? That could be another potential. That's a great frag if that's a frag. Nope, that was a stun grenade. Oh, he would have had him dead to rights. Meanwhile, a few frags get thrown. They're down to 2. Oh, I might sneeze. Ah, now they're down to 1. Those are only V40s. This dev group coming down, though. They might be able to take these guys out and then confirm the explosion of that boat. So even if this didn't have explosives here, if these guys win this fight, it's logical to conclude that they would have been able to nail the boat from the side with AT and blow it up anyway. But that Blue 4 group's taken out. So here's the thing. Even if Blue 4 didn't put charges... Oh, that's a great grenade. That's going to get pie. They've also stolen an RPG. They're trading AT rounds with each other. Well, Maj, I'm glad you like it. What are they firing? Oh, it was his RPG launcher. Oh, they also could have just mag dumped the boat with the 134. But Blue 4's down to 4. It's 4v5 right now. And then we still... Oh, he knows that he can't be shot, so he's just screwing with that guy. Sentry back here is taken out. These guys also have an AT4. That guy's taken out. I was about to say, please tell me that's not a frag and it rolls up to your guys. So now OPFOR is finally turning attention over here and suppressing guys. I'm going to be honest, even if this boat wasn't taken out by charges, one of these Blue 4 guys could have run up to the coast with that stolen RPG and that M72, and they could have hit the boat, even if 1 or 2 rounds missed, because they would have had 3 to 4 shots with that RPG launcher and the AT4s. And I think they still would have been able to blow the boat up either way, because it just needed 1 hit. So, but for that, I still think Blue 4 would have gotten that boat destroyed. These guys would have just switched their strategy to make a blocking position and then have their AT shots fired from here, and they could have gotten at least 2 free shots off before OPFOR turned their attention because they were still focusing on this squad over here. So that one, I still think is doable. I think Stefano just shot Matt in a bit of confusion, thinking that the Blue 4 guy was there. Blue 4 down to 2. Down to 1. A little bit of suppression going off by the other side because they're a little miscoordinated here. So both guys that ran up to this spot are now down. Actually, no, Masano's still up. My bad. And Blue 4 looks like they're loading the remainder of their forces here to then deploy on the final spot. Seals being seals. Yeah, the fog at range really does help you blend in. So these guys are gonna have no PID on this element over here. And they're guessing at where Blue 4 potentially is. I don't know who Skippoo's guy was over here, but one guy got taken out. I don't know where his body went. 113 has also been brought around. These guys, I think they pulled back because they're waiting for this other rifle element to get by. You know, this is another good question. Where did the other helicopter go? Ah. It went. So I'm assuming he got shot down. You got this 3-man team pulling away as well. Killer J on that side. Now what I'm looking for is, but for the explosive charges, does Blue 4 have an ability to take this boat out with an RPG? Because this is the first time where I've ever seen a PvP mission and thought to myself, okay, my normal rule is to do whatever the guidelines of the PvP match is no matter what. But for this one, the charges are bullshit. I'm going to be honest. Giving Blue 4 the ability to swim underneath and just demo things, relying on OPFOR to have so many guys on internal security in a community where people almost never play internal security, I feel is BS. But if Blue 4 are given plenty of options to put guys with AT near the boats, and then they can just AT the boat, it makes the point moot, because then Blue 4 can just AT the damn boats. Because OPFOR aren't really playing with a lot of guys on direct site security. How you survived? Giovanni's got the lag switch. Bro got stuck. He's stuck in position. That's how BS it is, though. He was shooting. Those rounds should have killed him, but water immediately nullifies bullets in Arma 3. Oh my god. Blue 4 in a really tight ambush here. Multiple Blue 4 going down. Because they got one Op 4 guy point blank. That group of 6 is now 4. More grenades being thrown. They got to be careful because they got Op 4 right in front of them. The tree's nullifying the explosives. More grenades blindly going out. Got Op 4 now trying to deliver a flanking action. Even more grenades going out. .404 animation not found. So I'm trying to see if these guys are going to push this element here. There's one of them got brought back up because there are multiple Blue 4 wounded, so they're back up to 5 again. This 3-man team moving in. Killer J probably going to regroup with those guys. Meanwhile, you've got Pogrom hunting, or being hunted by Blue 4. Good flanking call by Pogrom there. I think the grenade, nope, the grenade's right there. That was only a V40 though, so it didn't take him out. He tries to run out the window and put the magazine in. What? What? Did you see how many times he got hits? And he's not even wounded? He's invincible. No, he's fucking invincible. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. If he was hit in the arms or legs, we would see his arms or legs in a wounded state like this. No. No. He just got hit again. No, if they were all... Bruh. I don't think Pogrom's intentionally cheesing this. I think his unit just glitched out. But he's invincible right now, whether he knows it or not. Now you got Blue 4 and Op 4 intermingled up here. Huh? Now I'm seeing it again. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe their body armor is just that OP. I don't know. What? 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 Alright, that other boat can be destroyed. NASA's sorting this. Yeah. Yeah, there seems to be something wrong. What the hell happened? Here's my question. Did all of OFCRA just No, so he's wounded on the arms. So that was a legit firefight. But that's the difference. You would see them take damage. Chopper just got hit a few times. It's going down because you see the engine's on fire. Ooh, you're right. It could be the FAL kits. But let's see if this helicopter is able to commit emergency. Ooh. But yeah, are they all FAL kits? No, one of them's OGs. So there is a difference. Weird. But I think with those kill ratios... Huh. They have a scarf? Yeah, what do they all have? But at the same time, if a scarf makes you invincible, that's kind of funny. So that the neck scarf there. Nuvez just walking in. Here's my theory. Here's my theory. The three things that are changing right now is there are invincibility triggers on the boats to make them active. So my theory is somehow the boats going off of their invincibility state made some of the OFCRA units toggle invincibility on. That's my theory. And I think it's happening to a big chunk of OFCRA players. Not all of them, mind you, but some of them. So here's the deal. We could call this multiple ways. All right? We could take it on face value. Yeah, okay, he just literally survived a 249 point blank. Like, yeah, with no visual damage. And you can see the blood spatters of him getting hit. You can see the impacts. So here's the deal. We can take it on face value. Technically, OPFOR won because the boat wasn't destroyed and they get the final position. We could take it on the fact that Blue 4 should have gotten the boats destroyed, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There is no way I can properly score this. Because this got bugged out. Hard. It was already on thin ice because Blue 4 were given the advantage of... Well, actually, no. Technically, Blue 4 would win because they just blew up the final boat with the charges, if we're going to be technical. But... let me marinate it in my mind for a second. So here's the deal. I was already going to potentially void the fact that Blue 4 were able to use charges to blow the boats up to win. What should have then happened is OPFOR would have gotten bulldozed here because Blue 4 had the number advantage. They would have gotten in position to blow up the boats, but then all of that invincibility stuff happened. But technically, I wasn't able to see any Blue 4 in position to snipe the boat with AT because all that debug stuff happened. It should have, in my opinion, but we'll never know that for certain because you never know when an Audrey Hotto incident will happen. Because we still have some OPFOR set to invincible here. So, with that in mind, I think the only sensible thing I can do here, because of both the imbalance and the fact that things went nuts, I think I'm just going to refund it. Because I don't really see a sensible way in seeing it play out. I will say it should have been a Blue 4 victory. I agree with that call. I apologize if you voted Blue 4 and you're mad that you're not getting your one-to-one payout here, but with everything that just happened, I think just a general refund is in order because the whole mission, from the mechanics and balance to there, and then what we just witnessed here, I think it's scuffed. Because of some sort of weird invincibility trigger happening, and you see a big chunk of OPFOR players being pulled away because even wounded ones are now invincible. So something got scuffed here. But that is it. It's a no contest at this point. And now you're going to see a bunch of OPFOR guys basically bulldozing the remaining Blue 4 guys because there's still some set to invincible. That grenade should have killed Mr. White outright. That should have also probably killed Arthi and should have wounded Manco. Those two grenades back to back. So a big chunk of OPFOR are still set to invincible. And it is what it is. Anyway, guys, that'll be it for the casting here because it's GG. I'm going to be honest. It's GG. The server won. So let me go ahead and refund things, and we'll be back in about 3 hours, 15 minutes for some OFCRA on-the-ground Broken Crown looting campaign shenanigans with Patchwork Zeusing. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Why am I typing backwards? What? That was weird. Okay. My computer went demonic. I don't know. I'm done.